King David lay frail and bedridden, utterly powerless to halt conspiracies erupting throughout the dark corridors of the Jerusalem court. The deepest shadows concealed an imminent treason. Adonijah, the ambitious firstborn, was marching openly to usurp the royal crown and seize supreme power by force. The sacred promise concerning the Davidic lineage faced immediate destruction, threatening to drag the entire nation into a bloody civil war. The chosen kingdom stood paralyzed before the terrifying catastrophe advancing rapidly toward the gates of the holy city. Solomon, young and lacking battlefield experience or political cunning, felt the crushing responsibility of Israel's monarchy fall squarely upon his shoulders. He had not sought the throne, yet the divine calling summoned him at the most dangerous crossroads in the entire history of his people. Without hesitation, Solomon took the first practical and strategic human step before any visible celestial intervention occurred. He assembled the faithful priests, organized the noble leaders loyal to David's legacy, and marched with the people to the high altars of Gibeon. In that solemn place, he built massive altars and offered 1,000 burnt sacrifices as a sign of profound humility, honor, and complete dependence on the God of his fathers. The celestial response shattered the quiet of the night in an astonishing vision. God appeared to the young monarch and commanded him to ask for whatever he desired. Instead of demanding endless gold, immense wealth, long life, or the defeat of his political rivals, Solomon requested wisdom and discernment to govern that great multitude uprightly. God granted him a brilliant, peerless mind, filled with divine authority. Solomon returned to Jerusalem and bowed in deep reverence before the sacred Ark of the Covenant. The first true trial arrived swiftly. 2 weeping women entered the royal court, fiercely disputing custody of a single living infant. With surgical insight and without witnesses, the king ordered a sword to divide the child in 2. That decisive command exposed the true mother, making the entire nation tremble in awe before his divinely inspired justice. Early triumph and widespread international recognition soon gave way to human pride and blind reliance on earthly military power. Solomon multiplied swift war horses imported directly from the lands of Egypt, amassed immense reserves of pure gold, and levied heavy taxes upon the hard-working Israelite laborers. A bitter, silent division began to ferment among the 12 tribes of the realm. Popular unrest against the heavy royal demands grew rapidly, and the excessive ambition of court counselors threatened to fracture the unified nation David had forged. Recognizing the impending discontent of the people and the dangerous drift from the sacred mission, Solomon curbed his vanity and sought to re-establish the divine plan. He restructured royal finances, reformed the tax administrators, and mobilized master builders, stonemasons, and craftsmen for the greatest undertaking of his lifetime. Utilizing noble cedar timber imported from the forests of Lebanon and massive stones precisely cut at the quarries, the king channeled the entire empire toward the monumental construction of the Lord's Temple on Mount Moriah. The grand dedication ceremony of that holy sanctuary became the most astounding supernatural climax in the history of Israel. Thousands of priests, clothed in fine white linen, sounded trumpets in majestic unison, while Solomon stretched his hands toward the heavens upon the bronze platform. Suddenly, a thick cloud of glory enveloped the entire temple with overwhelming power, while celestial fire descended and consumed the burnt offerings on the altar before the assembly. The impact was so overwhelming that no priest could remain standing, confirming that the divine presence truly dwelt among the people. Uncontested peace extended across all surrounding borders. sovereign rulers from remote lands traveled immense distances to admire the God-given wisdom of Solomon and the breathtaking wonders of the Israelite court. An unprecedented golden era of tranquility, security, and abundance covered the land, and every single family lived in safety beneath their own prosperous vines and fig trees. The years passed swiftly, and relentless old age brought the bitter weight of careless compromises and dangerous foreign alliances. Solomon sat exhausted upon his opulent throne of carved ivory, gazing at his trembling, wrinkled hands and the sheer vastness of the majestic empire he had built through sweat. He felt the profound fragility of extravagant banquets, the absolute emptiness of accumulated material riches, and the fleeting vanity of all earthly monuments erected without genuine reverence for the Most High Lord. Realizing that the end of his days was approaching and fearing the danger of the nation falling into foreign idolatry, the aged monarch summoned a solemn general assembly in Jerusalem. Standing before princes, priests, commanders, scribes, and common workers, the experienced king raised his steady voice to proclaim his final and perpetual testament. The grave resonance of his words echoed through the spacious palace courtyards, severely warning future generations against the deadly traps of self-sufficiency and the foolish neglect of the sacred covenant. He declared openly that all worldly achievements, treasures, and conquests under the sun turn into meaningless dust if the human heart wanders away from righteousness and the holy ways of the Creator. The aged king officially brought his long earthly journey to a close by leaving an unshakable written memorial that would endure across millennia. The entire human pursuit of greatness, knowledge, and authority culminated in one single, non-negotiable truth: fear God sincerely and keep his immutable commandments faithfully. The monarch warned with authority that every secret action, righteous deed, or hidden failing would face a perfect and infallible heavenly judgment. His urgent message pierced the souls of the listeners like a sharpened blade, silencing the bustling streets and sealing an imperishable lesson for Israel's history. The great king concluded his speech in absolute reverence, leaving behind a lasting monument of wisdom, stern warning, and divine fear that would echo through all coming generations.